Welcome back to Cooley Loves Comic Books. For this episode, I want to tell you about Thumbs by Sean Lewis and Hayden Sherman. In making the video about Bliss, I went back to Image and I was kind of looking up details about that book and about Sean Lewis and Caitlin Yarsky, and it reminded me that Sean Lewis had also written Thumbs. This book, it's a 5-issue series. This is all that it is. It came out and completed in 2019, so it came out pretty recently. And I remember reading this as it came out and really liking the story and just kind of putting it back together that was the same Sean Lewis that was doing Bliss. I want to go back and just make a video about Thumbs as well. I'll let you know about it. And so if you're checking out Bliss or you like Sean Lewis's writing and you haven't heard about Thumbs, it's definitely something you should check out as well. So really quick at the front, just want to say, if you like the channel, if you like the content that I'm putting out, please like and subscribe because that really helps the channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. So Thumbs. This book is different. It strikes me as being different on a lot of ways, but I'd say that on all of them there's some good reason for it. And this is a book that's going to challenge you a little bit. It is a good read. I wouldn't say that this is a fun book. It's actually kind of intense, especially in parts, but it tells a really good story, and I think it's a good one to read. And it really makes you think. Kind of some of the underlying topics are technology and our dependence on it, and social media and our dependence on it. It's worth mentioning right up at the front. So these are the 5 issues. These are the covers. Even the initial presentation of the book is a little bit different than average. There's kind of this modern propensity for variant covers and lots of different artists doing a take on the cover of a book and whatnot. And these are pretty simplistic compared to a lot of the stuff that you would see walking down your comic book shelf, or comic book store shelf, which that might be done intentionally to make them stand out. But as you start to read the story, the covers really make a lot more sense. The color palette and everything like that. In the artwork inside is very stylized. It uses a really dark, just kind of grays and blacks. But technology, technology is a subject, or kind of an underlying subject of the story, but it's also highlighted in the artwork of the story with the color pink. So it's interesting to see, pink so prominently featured on the covers, but you get in and you start reading the book, and there's a reason for that. So the artwork, it took me probably through the second issue to really kind of get into what was going on with the artwork and kind of get a feel for it. And again, it just feels different than most of your standard comic books these days. But I think it's just everything is done in the series to kind of maybe make you think about things in a different way. The way that they make technology a character in the story is really interesting. It's a post-apocalyptic story kind of. Technology is right at the center, and it's talked about enough, and it's clear that social media, it's a post-social media apocalypse is kind of the framework for this story, which is kind of interesting. And so there's a little bit of commentary that you get in the story about how our usage of social media led to the point where all the characters in the story are, and that really it kind of brings a different perspective on something that maybe we're very quick and easy to think of in a positive light, that maybe we shouldn't be so quick to do that. From a story standpoint, there's just a handful of characters at the center. Thumbs, the title of the story, the main character's name is Thumbs. Tabitha, there's a virtual character, if you will, called Mom, that is at the center, and then Thumbs' sister. And Sean Lewis does a really powerful job of kind of bringing you into this world, into this story. and then really getting you attached to these characters as they move through the story. And it's really interesting. I would not say that this is a fun read. Like there's not any real comedic relief, if you will, but it's a really good read. It's something where I got to the end of it, and everything felt different about it. Like with the artwork, with the presentation. But by the time I got it to the end of the story, everything really kind of felt like it fell into place. And I really appreciated the journey that Sean Lewis and Hayden Sherman took me on through these 5 issues. And they're really compelling characters. It's a really interesting world. It's a really interesting picture that they paint of the world. And once you get through the story, it feels like you've been on the journey with these characters, and you come out of it and maybe think about social media, technology, things like that in a slightly different way. So it's a really good story, and again, just on the off chance that you hadn't heard about this yet, and really just what made me think of it is the fact that Sean Lewis is now writing Bliss. That's where I wanted to come back and just make this video on this series to let you know about it. And if this sounds at all interesting to you, if these are subjects or like this art style is anything that grabs you, definitely check out Thumbs. Again, this came out, all 5 of these issues came out in 2019, so they should be pretty easy to track down. If you can support your local comic book shop, there's a good chance that they've got most, if not all, of these for you to check out. So yeah, I hope you like the book. Hopefully this gives you enough to go out there and check it out, and hopefully enjoy it. So thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate it. In the meantime, I'm going to go off and read some more comic books, and you should do that too. Thanks a lot. Take care. Catch you on the next one.